All right, good day, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started with this Zoom webinar. We appreciate you taking some time out your busy schedule to join us to get more information in regards to the Legal Shield opportunity, as well as training. This is specific to brokers, agents, to professional sellers. My name is Eddie Coben, and I do have the pleasure of sharing this information with you all. I'm just one of the many six-figure income earners here with Legal Shield who specialize in the benefits arena and working from B to C, that's business to consumer, as well as B to B, business to business. And I truly appreciate, again, you taking time out your schedule to join us today. Why? Because we all know that time is valuable. We want to make sure that anytime we spend our time, it's a good use of time. So I do promise that I will make this a good use of your time today. I definitely implore you, as we go through this information, to grab a pen and a notepad or a journal to take some copious notes with this information. You've been invited to watch this for one of two reasons. Maybe you are in a place and you are an insurance professional, broker, or agent, and you're looking to expand your portfolio and you're looking for different opportunities and great value propositions to actually add to the client base that you already have to, bring better retention, but most importantly, deepen the relationship with offering great products to those existing clients, and you kind of want more information to have the ability to do that. The second reason why you may have been invited to this live webinar is because you want to make sure that you position this product the right way to your clients. So that simply means if you're already contracted, and you're already part of this Legal Shield opportunity, if you will, you want to just make sure that you are positioning it right. You're saying what the product does, not making sure you don't say what it doesn't do. So the retention on that business can be really high, which the retention in Legal Shield is pretty high in itself. And so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Started off with the product, okay? So when we think about disruptive innovation, we think about a simpler, easier, more affordable way to get access to something. So when we look at Uber, we all know that is a billion-dollar industry, and we all remember the yellow cab companies, but Uber went and ran them out of business because they made a more simpler, easier, more affordable way to get access to transportation, okay? We look at Netflix. We all remember Blockbuster at one point, okay? And Blockbuster, was ran out of business by Netflix. Why? Because they made it a more simpler, easier, and more affordable way to watch and have an experience by way of watching movies right in the comfortability of your home. And the nice thing is, at Legal Shield, we did the same thing. Why? Because today's legal service industry is expensive, it's unresponsive, and unaccountable. So we disrupted the marketplace, and we just did the same exact thing. We made a more simpler, easier, and more affordable way to get access to attorneys. So instead of worrying about the high hourly cost, you can download an app to your phone and get access for a small monthly fee. All right, so let's jump right into it. What is Legal Shield? Who are we? We've been established since 1972, so well over 40 years. We have about 4.3 million lives in the U.S. and Canada. Right now, we're actually doing a launch that's coming as well in all of Canada, if you will, so it won't just be 4 provinces of Canada, and we're actually doing a test market launch right now in the UK. So again, we are expanding, and so that 4.3 million lives shortly will be doubled and tripled, just through the expansion, if you will. As you can see, we've been we've been seen in very prestigious publications from Forbes to CNBC to Bloomberg News and Better Business Bureau. And so again, I always say documentation beats conversation, and so obviously we are doing something right. All right, so what is our vision? To provide equal access to the liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that every human deserves. And how does it work? It's simple. We have this list of what we call have you ever. And when I ask you these questions, I want you to think about it for yourself and your family, but I also want you to think about it in the eyes of your clients as well. Have you ever signed a contract or a document before? Have you ever had a landlord or tenant issue, been overcharged or treated unfairly, received a traffic ticket? Maybe you needed to get your will prepared or updated, had a real estate transaction, been a victim of identity theft, or you've probably been concerned about your child being a victim of identity theft, right? So if you just nod your head or say yes to maybe one or even two of these have you ever's, you'll see more value on why you would need a plan like this, more or less why your clients would need a plan like this as well. All right, so how does it work? It's simple. You download an app to your phone where you see Call Your Law Firm circled Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You can call on unlimited number of issues. When I say unlimited, I mean you can pick up the phone and speak to 3 different attorneys in one day on 3 different topics, or you can call them 15 times a week. It won't be any extra out of the monthly cost of the plan. And I like to be upfront. So what does a plan like this cost? It costs $24.95 a month. Now, when you think about it, if you've ever used an attorney or familiar with what attorneys charge, they can charge anywhere from upwards from $250 an hour or more, but they get that unlimited access, for $24.95. So let's cover what that $24.95 covers. Now, so in addition, letters and phone calls made in your behalf. I know when I first got the coverage, I had an issue. Why? Because I was adding my 2 daughters on to my plan, and my cell phone plan, that is. And the company, which I won't say the name, T-Mobile, they overcharged me. Listen, I was pretty upset about that, but the nice thing is, one letter from the law firm, and instead of me being charged $25 like they said, they charged me $125. I was credited to $200, got 2 months free on my service, and it just felt good that I didn't have to argue and wait on hold to deal with that specific situation, since they didn't do what they said they would do. Okay. In addition to that, contracts and document reviews. Any type of contract or document you have is nice to know, up to 15 pages. They're a little lenient, so if it's 16, 17, it'll do as well. So they can have that contract reviewed and make sure it's in their best interest, not the other party's best interest, before they sign that contract. And when you think about it, how many people do you know that sign contracts they don't fully understand? I know I've been guilty of that before. Why? Because sometimes you're excited about buying a product, or at least for an apartment, or and you just go ahead and do it. And so now you don't have to just sign that document. You or your clients do have the ability to have an attorney review that for you. We also offer some IRS audit assistance. We know when you get that dreaded letter from the IRS, it's a scary situation. I like to say that, if you've been audited before, you know that IRS is Internal Revenue Service. But if you've never been audited before, it stands for something completely different. It means I'm really scared, because when you get that dreaded notice from the IRS, you are scared. You don't know what to do. But it's nice that you can rest assured to know that you can pick up the phone, talk to an attorney who specializes in IRS audits to get assistance in that audit. In addition, civil trial defense. You have coverage in your plan. It starts with pre-trial and trial hours and increases every year to banquet hours. I'll never forget, one of our members had an issue. Someone slipped on his property. They broke their leg. He went ahead and said, hey, you know what? I'm going to get ahead and sue. And so he went, retained an attorney. Okay. Their attorney, obviously, when you get sued, you have to answer suit, right? And so that client, that the homeowner's attorney, he had LegalShield. Well, he's been a member for several years. He had a bank of pre-trial and trial hours. When his attorney talked to the other attorney, the attorney went back and told the client, hey, I don't think you want to take this that far, because you're not going to be able to afford me, because this guy has close to a limited amount of hours to get defense with this lawsuit. So I think you want to drop the lawsuit. And guess what that person did? They dropped the lawsuit. So again, there's some great benefits in there just from being a member. Also, family domestic services, if you will. It's a 90-day waiting period, but if it's uncontested, divorce, adoption, separation, or name change, the nice thing is that you can get assistance at no additional cost. After the 90-day waiting period with this coverage. And I am emphasizing here, and this is a high overview, because if it's your first time looking at this, I want to make sure you understand the product fully. Okay, if it's you're on and you are looking to sell this to your clients, we want to make sure they are educated the proper way, so you can under promise and over deliver on what this product does. Okay, so what are some of the other benefits? We have something called SNAP. In an event that you get a moving traffic violation, speeding ticket, it's nice to know that an attorney will go to court and fight the ticket for you at no additional cost. Once you take a picture of the ticket, as you can see here, send it into the law firm 4 business hours later. An attorney's going to give you a call back, and they're going to ask you, hey, do you want me to go to court with you or for you? The whole goal is to make sure you don't get the points, because we all know insurance is already expensive. We want to keep those points low. I can say I've tried this out for you all several times. My last ticket was in Virginia. I was in the wrong. I was speeding. They almost considered it reckless driving. They said I had to go back to that state. I took a picture, send it to the law firm, and the attorney in Virginia, although I live in New Jersey, actually had an attorney go to court for me in Virginia, fought the ticket, got it reduced to a $55 court fee. And it was good to know, because I'm still considered a good driver, not only Virginia, where I got a ticket, in Atlanta, and several other states as well. And so I have a heavy left foot, right? And so I'm just glad to know that I have a coverage like this. But I always say, good attorneys know the law, but great attorneys know the judge. And so we do have some favor when it comes to moving traffic violations, okay? So what are some other benefits that you get as well as your clients get with this LegalShield coverage, if you will? In addition, we do estate planning. Now, how many times have you sat down with a client, maybe enrolling them in a health plan, enrolling them in a life insurance plan, okay, and you knew that they needed a will, all right, but you just didn't offer it. So you went ahead and you referred it to someone else. Well, the good thing is now you can refer that person to yourself, if you will. Why? Because you know they need it to get it done. Now you have the ability to give them access to getting that done. And it's important. Wills are important. We do the estate planning. We do wills, medical power of attorney, financial power of attorney. We do the whole estate planning, all covered in the coverage. And why are wills important? In most states, if you pass away without a will, the state does have the right to take 50% of your assets. So if you have children, if you have a home, you're a homeowner, I mean, the number one thing you want to put in place is a will. All right. Also, that medical power of attorney. If you're incapacitated, can't make a decision on your life, who's going to make that decision? Now, they do have the ability to get that done, so you don't leave the burden on your family to who makes that decision, God forbid, if the worst were to happen, right? And I always say, hey, with kids, the nice thing is if they behave, you can keep them on. Next year, if they misbehave, you can kick them off. We do free updates because it's completely up to you. I was just kidding there. Now, the nice thing about that, we not only do the will for you, we also do it for the spouse and update it every year as well. So that's the full benefit. We know wills are about $1,000 value. So you sharing this with one of your clients or getting it yourself, that actually pays for your coverage for the next several years, just alone with getting the will done. Okay. So moving forward, 24-hour emergency access, right? So again, it's nice to know that for emergencies that you have access, right? That's a good thing. Why? Because we all know that emergency is emergency. We never know what's going to happen. Whether it's you get into a car accident, you're shaken up, you don't want to make the report, but the police officers force you to make the report. You do have rights not to make that report. You can get an attorney on the line and speak to that officer, all right? Or if it's a situation where Child Protective Services shows up at your home threatening to take your kids from a false allegation that the neighbor made against you because they just didn't like you because you didn't cut your lawn. I don't know, right? But the nice thing is you actually have 24-hour access to have an attorney help you out in that specific situation, in that emergency situation, 10 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'll share one story with you all. And for you all that are positioned to your clients, I always say facts tell, stories sell. So it's nice to tell some stories. All right. And the easiest way to do it is by getting the coverage yourself, utilizing it so you have your own stories, but you're more than welcome to borrow mine as you start off. Okay. So we actually had a mom that had the coverage. Her daughter had some really bad abdominal pain. She took it to the emergency room in the hospital. 2 doctors took a look at it, said nothing's wrong. Mom says, hey, something's wrong. Okay, well, in that situation, they said there's no beds available, so we can't admit her. Mom says, no, I'm not going to send her home. I'm not taking her home. She needs to be admitted. Well, she picked up the phone, tapped that red button as you see on the app, got the attorney on the line. Attorney calls the hospital administrator. An hour later, there was a bed available for her daughter right before her appendix was about to bust, right? So we know that when someone you care about or love needs that medical attention, it's nice to know that there's a legal recourse to get access to attorneys, all right? So how does this work? And this is important, okay? 90% of everything I covered is covered for $24.95 a month. 10% falls under the 25% discount. For you all that are positioned to see your clients, it's important that you say that, right? Why? Because we want to make sure they don't think that everything is covered and then we set the wrong expectation when they use it and they have a bad experience. So we want to make sure that we're educating them properly on how the plan works. So the 25% falls under pre-existing legal matter. So if they had a legal matter prior to getting the plan, it wouldn't be covered. The only thing, all right, that will be covered, if you actually have someone that gets the plan the same day they get a traffic ticket, they will be covered. You know, that's the only thing. But anything else pre-existing is covered under the 25% discount off of the hourly rate of the attorney. So that's bankruptcy, that's DUI, contested adoption, contested divorce, immigration, all covered under the 25% discount. So I'll say it once again, 90% of what your members are going to utilize the plan for is covered for $24.95. 10% of the plan falls under the 25% discount as the areas that you see here on the screen. All right, so moving forward, contingency cases. All right, so if you're a victim of an auto accident or personal injury, you deal with a personal injury, if you will. The attorney will go ahead and take it on a contingency basis. And the nice thing is most attorneys take 33 1/3. Our attorneys only take 25% of whatever they win. And so, hey, that difference of 8% plus makes a huge difference when it comes to large payouts. All right, so they have access to that. Now, who's covered? The member, spouse, or domestic partner, never married, children under the age of 26, living in home, dependent under the age of 18, and any special needs children are covered for the life. So the whole family is covered for $24.95 a month. So when you think about it, which one would you choose? A $250 hour attorney or an attorney for $1 a day? Okay. So again, hey, we all know that we spend Starbucks, coffee, and I share this with my clients. Hey, think about, how much you spend a day when you go out, right? And you add all of that up and, you see how much this coverage costs. You spend way more than $24.95 a week. And what is that protecting? But now you have the ability to be empowered to put something in place that's going to protect and give you an umbrella of protection on the legal side. All right, so next part of our coverage is identity theft. I'll breeze through this. Why? Because I'm sure everyone watching this you're already familiar with all the different breaches that are happening, from the Yahoo breach to the Chase breach to the Anthem on the health insurance side breach that happened several years ago. All right, the Equifax breach that took place last year. Say the breaches are not going to stop. So your clients and you need that identity theft protection, and you just don't need any plan. You just don't need monitoring, right? Because there's a lot of things, programs is offering monitoring, but if there's a situation, they send a letter in the mail and they have to do it themselves. The plan I'm going to talk about today is a very comprehensive plan, and it's very robust where it covers every area of identity theft. Why? Because criminals don't want your money. They want your identity. So let's talk about identity theft. What are some of the common types of identity theft? Tax returns, okay? That's huge, all right? Medical claims, Social Security claims, credit, driver's license, criminal character. These are all different areas of identity theft. Let's take medical identity theft. We had a client where she found out that someone that couldn't get medical insurance got medical insurance in her name. The challenge was she got a bill in the mail for $2,500, but her biggest concern whether that person that got that medical procedure done switched the blood type on her medical record. So how many of your clients may not even know about medical identity theft, and only if you educated them, they will take advantage and protect themselves with that as well, right? Then there's driver's license, criminal, right? My daughter was a victim of identity theft. She's 10. At 2 years old, she was a victim. Someone took a credit card, cell phone on her name. Fortunately, we have this plan. monitored through the app. We got an alert. We were able to do something about that. All right. And it's nice to know that when something happens, you can do something about it, but you don't have to do the work. Why? Because we signed a limited power attorney, a private investigator took on the case, restored it in 30 days, 8 years later. She's 10 years old and she's all good. So again, for any parents out there, when your position is to a parent, it's important that you mention child identity theft among children. You're more than welcome to steal my story as well. All right, so monitoring alerts. We do the monitoring. The things that I'm going to focus on is the black market website surveillance. This is huge. Why? Because we do sweeps through the black market, these dark websites. They're similar to a Google, right? But they have their own Google where they trade personal information. We monitor those sites to make sure that no one's trading personal information. We also monitor social media as well, along with everything else that you see on the screen. All right, so how does it work on the restoration side? It's just pretty simple. We'll do whatever it takes for as long as it takes until we restore it back to pre-theft status, right? And that's important. I'll share one last story in regard to this. My wife was a victim. Told you identity theft hits close to home. She did a tax return rather. Come to find out, someone took a student loan on her name. In that situation, fortunately, we had the coverage, and so we had private investigators that started working on a case. But she didn't get her tax returns. They froze her bank accounts. Can this happen to anybody? Absolutely. Well, these investigators investigated and found out that this young lady was actually making a living off of taking student loans in other people's names and cashing in on the loan. Well, hey, it was a peace of mind to know that they found her, apprehended her, and fixed my wife's information. Now, had my wife not had this at the time when she was working well over a decade ago, they would have went ahead and made it a very, cumbersome process in regards to her traveling out to, say, going to court and doing all these things that most people don't have time to do. But since she had LegalShield, they did it all for her, and they backed it with a $5 million service guarantee. All right, so when you look at the legal, you look at the identity theft, combined plans. Combined plans is $40.90 a month. They also can get it as a standalone for $24.95 on a legal, $24.95 on the LegalShield family. They also can get an individual plan if they don't have a family at $34.90 a month rather, as you can see. $24.95 for the legal, $9.95 for the identity theft. Usually, I sell it as a combined plan. Why? Main reason being is because if you are a victim of identity theft, in a lot of cases you're gonna need an attorney, especially if it falls under the criminal line, if you will. And so again, it just makes sense to get the full protection. One thing I would say, if you are insurance agent and you work with seniors, to the tune of 36 billion identity theft situations happen a year with seniors. It's a huge issue. Why? Because obviously they say they share personal information over the phone they're not knowledgeable about, or they may answer email and give personal information, or they may not know how to check certain things. The nice thing is with this plan, even if they're not good with apps, okay, and they don't understand technology, it's fine. We monitor everything for them anyway, regardless of them utilizing the app or not. So this is important for you to know. So if they are a victim of identity theft, our private investigators will still restore it and do all the work for them, even though they may not be technology savvy, if you will. So I just thought that was important to know on why seniors definitely do need identity theft coverage as well. All right. So an extra added value benefit that they actually get with this plan, each member, is something called members perks. All right. So you have the ability to save money with these programs, whether it's 8% off your Verizon bill, AMC movie theaters, discounts with Sprint and T-Mobile as well, hotel discounts. I'll never forget, I was staying at a Hilton hotel, called up. They said it was $350 a night, right? Went to members perks and found out it was $200 a night. So I saved literally $150 a night for the 4 nights that I stayed at the Hilton. So again, hey, I like to say saving money is good as making money. So members have the ability to save, and just utilizing this part of the coverage a few times a year, they can actually save a truckload of money and actually let that pay for this coverage for the years to come. All right. So that is your members perk. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the compensation. And before I do that, let me just preface by saying, I'm excited to share this part with you. Why? Because I've been blessed with a great organization that we've been able to help a lot of families, and we've been able to protect a lot of communities with this plan, right? Personally, I've protected over close to about 3,000 families personally, but I'm fortunate to be blessed with an organization that has protected over 25,000 families nationwide with this coverage. So I like to say, hey, it's nice that you can get paid 4 ways, but it's a better feeling when you're able to put something, an intangible product in someone's hand, but yet know that when you walk away, you did a great service and you protected a family. Okay, so let's talk about very quickly the 4 ways you get paid. B2C, business to consumer, when you go out and personally share this with one of your clients. Also, management override. So, hey, maybe you know some agents or you have a team of agents, or maybe you just know other agents that want to increase their portfolio and you bring them aboard part of your team. You can get overrides there as well. Residual income or personal management overrides, you get it not only on your personal side, but also on the team side as well. Renewals, you're vested from year one. Going into the 13th month, your renewals already kick in. In addition to that, bonus and incentives, which you'll appreciate once we go through that. All right, so let's jump right into it. Get paid when you make a sale or someone on your team makes a sale. So let's go ahead and go through that. How does this work? It's really simple. All right. If you already have a life and health license or a property and casualty license, you jump from associate right to senior associate. You start off making $230 plan. And ladies and gentlemen that are listening, that is a big deal, okay, to have the ability to make that type of compensation. Why? Because we pay you in a year in advance because our retention is so good with these plans, all right? So if you really look at it, if you just decide, hey, I'm going to go ahead and sell 2 of these a month, that's extra $460 a month. Say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and sell 4 of these a month, that's $920. If you say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and protect 19 families a month, that's an extra $50,000 a year on top of, in addition to whatever you're already bringing in. If you get a little aggressive and you, hey, now I'm going to protect my whole business and I have a lot of referrals that I can get to actually protect with this coverage, and you do 37 plans a month, that's a 6-figure income. And so this is all based off of the 4990 plan. That's legal and identity theft together. Overall, the nice thing is you can do this individually and you can actually walk into companies and offer it as a voluntary benefit. We do have a class that teaches those who that may not have expertise in that area how to position it to companies. But hey, when you do it, you can make a great deal in income. And I'll give you some examples. Hey, if you walk into a medical office that's 20 employees, we have pretty high participation. We get 60 to 70% enrollment when we walk into companies, and this is all through a payroll deduction. It can also be through a bank draft as well. Out of that 20 employees, 15 sign up. You're a senior director. That's a $3,500 a day. You walk into a company that has 100 employees, or maybe you have some contacts of people that actually own companies or business owners that and you walk in and you want to get ahead, position this their company at 230. If it's 100 employees, 60 of them get it. That's a $14,000 day. Okay, you walk into a company with 1,000 employees, join the open enrollment season. Okay, and 500 of them get the plan. That's only 50%. That's a $58,000 day. And so I like to say, hey, it's always smart to take a field trainer with you to these type of appointments if you're not an expert, because 50% of nothing is nothing, right? 100% of nothing, rather, is nothing. So what does that mean? A field trainer will team up with you. They'll go into the company. They'll roll everything out. It'll be your chance to learn if you're not an expert in this area, and you just split it 50-50 with a field trainer. We have some field trainers on our team. I'm one as well, which this is what I specifically focus on, offering this to companies. And I've been fortunate and blessed to work with big brokerage firms, mid-size as well as small, offering it to their clients as well throughout the year, as well as open enrollment. Okay, so really quickly, we're going to go ahead and talk about another level, which is called executive. And how does that work? $1,400 premium a month gets you to this level overall, okay? And that's, somewhere between, personally, 37 plans a month will get you to this level, $1,400 in premium, somewhere around there, give or take. And if you do that, the nice thing is, and you're consistent after 3 months, as you can see on the top left-hand side of the screen, they're going to pay you a $3,000 bonus, a $5,000 bonus rather. Okay, if you do that consistently, month after month, every month you do that after 3 months, you're going to get $1,000 all the way for the next 10 months. a total of 10,000, you take the 10,000 and 5, that's an extra $15,000 in bonus money that you're going to get based off of what you're going to do anyway. So it's really nice to know that you can get extra bonus incentives. There's also an incentive plan when you offer it to companies as well. So you match all those incentives together. That's a lot of extra money in addition to what you're already making commission-wise. All right. So if you decide to build a team, if you look on the right-hand side, you get management override. So if a person doesn't have an insurance license, they start off at the associate level. If you're a senior director, you get the difference between where you're at and they're at. So you add the 20 plus the 20 plus the 20 plus the 30 and the 40. That's an extra $130 per plan that they sell. Okay. Just to give you a better example, the powers of leverage income. If you build a team with 30 agents and they enroll just 5 a month, that's, if you're executive director, that's $7,500 a month and override income. All right. So I know these are some big numbers, but the bottom line, it's really about what you want to do. You may want to just make an extra $500 a month. That's fine. You want to make an extra $1,000 a month. That's fine. You want to bring in an extra 50 or 6 figures. We have a plan to help you do that. You can get back to the person who invited you on, and they will share with you or connect you with a person that knows how to help you do that. So let's look at residual. Honestly, it's the reason why I got started. I said, hey, I got 2 girls. Plan to have some more kids in the future, and hey, I want to leave a legacy for my children. So the nice thing about the residual is I mentioned you're vested year 1. Going to the 13th month, you're going to continue to get paid month after month for what you did a year ago. And so that's the nice thing about residual. If you're an insurance agent, obviously you're very familiar with it. You get that same percentage here with LegalShield as well. All right. So a few other things as we kind of close out here. The Performance Club. This is just a club that everyone strives to get into. If you're going to set a goal just to get started, you say, I just want to test this out. I just want to get a commission check, and I just want to test this out and play with it. Let me set a small goal of getting Performance Club qualified, right? How does it work? There's 2 levels. There's a Performance Club 90 and 180. You can choose which one you want to be a part of, and it's all based on premium dollars. So you go out, sell 2 plans, 2 full plans, you're in Performance Club 90. You sell out and sell 4, you're in Performance Club 180. So you have that choice. But when you do that, you can receive up to $500 a month and monthly bonuses in addition to, that's over $6,000 a year. In addition to all expense paid trips, I know we're headed out to Cabo just in the next 60 days due to this Performance Club. I don't share this to impress you all, but impress upon you. LegalShield pays for me to drive a luxury Mercedes-Benz. I'm very fortunate by blessing other families and as a result being rewarded with a car bonus that actually pays for that as well, okay? And there's also matching bonuses that you have access to. And you get access to all of that by making sure you subscribe to your LegalShield Advantage. If you contract with us, obviously there's no cost. Only cost you have is your membership, your monthly membership that actually locks in your contract, if you will. And then other than that, it's a choice, but for $19.95 a month, the first month free, it gives you access to all the incentives that I share with you, along with a personal back office. You have an enrollment site. It's basically like an office that you have set up at your disposal, to actually run your business. $19.95 per month. It's a small investment, first month free. I advise everyone to get it. Every agent I know that comes aboard takes advantage, and brokers as well. All right, so our proven track record as we close out here. All right, we have 400 people that make 6 figures a year from home with our company, plus 200 plus people that make $50,000 a year, and they give you a ring to signify that you've made that income, okay? We have over 230 millionaires with our company. We've paid in the last 10 years close to $1 billion. So, if you just want to test this out to say, hey, does this thing pay? This is documentation. I always say documentation beats conversation. People from real estate agents, as you can see here, to postal workers, to business owners as well, all making significant income upwards to, from 500 all the way up to $1 million plus a year with this opportunity. So it's real and it does pay. All right. So some onboarding steps as we close out. first thing you want to do is enroll as a member. I always say, hey, if I'm going to share something with someone, I want to share it with enthusiasm. And the best way to do it is to have the product yourself. So it's kind of like you're not sharing something you don't have. Because in a lot of cases, hey, do you have this product? Have you used it? How does it work? But most importantly, you just have a higher level of belief. Because I believe sales is a transfer of belief. And when you have something, it's easier to convey that belief. So again, enroll in whatever plan you feel fits, your family. I always say both. Why not? Because it's just great protection for the price point. Okay, get contracted as a broker or agent. Obviously, it costs you nothing to get contracted with us and get a chance to set up your website. 3, get trained. You can go to shieldnation.com/start to get that done. And get paid and promoted. Open this up to your client base and start to share. Okay, share this plan with them, and you can utilize the first part of what I did as a training opportunity for you to position it correctly to your clients, or you could come out to a live classroom training that you can find right on the LegalShieldCalendar.com. I implore you to actually come out to a live classroom training. Just to meet the different people, successful people, other insurance agents that are having success as well. So having that said, I welcome you aboard. We look forward to working with you. We look forward to helping you share this with your clients and take it to the next level. With having that said, you take care and have a great day.